Hi! So for class today, I asked you to read Anthem by Ayn Rand. Now you may be wondering why I assigned Anthem as opposed to something like The Fountainhead or Atlas Shrugged, which are probably her more famous works. For one thing, Anthem's a lot shorter. Both Atlas Shrugged and Fountainhead come in at something like 500 pages, which seemed like a lot to assign. I would encourage you to read them if you have the time, but I thought shorter might be better in a class like this where we already have so much reading to do. The other reason why I assigned Anthem is because I think it's really striking for the themes we're talking about in this lesson. We're talking about the idea of the individual. For this week, we're really digging into that question of what kind of a being am I? Okay, so what kind of a person are you? And to get to that question, to really think about who we are, we have to be able to say I. And that's really the theme of Anthem, to be able to conceptualize a sense of self, an I, that then you can think about what kind of nature you have. But you have to have an I. You have to be able to say, I am something, and to acknowledge that idea of you as an individual, not just you in relationship to other people or you in relationship to society. It's you. And you matter as a distinct entity. And that's really what Anthem is getting at. And I love that. I think it's applicable to what we're talking about in this lesson and more broadly in what we're talking about in this course. It fits the learning objectives nicely. But I also really like it as kind of a takeaway lesson for this class. Anthem teaches you that it's important to say I. And in philosophy, it's important to be able to say I to do any of the other kind of philosophical conversations. But in life, it's important to say I. Objectivism, which is the kind of philosophical approach that Ayn Rand developed, gets a lot of flack for being selfish. And it is. The whole idea is you have to put the self first. You have to acknowledge the self. And that's considered selfish by our society. But I also want you to realize that it's also important to put yourself first sometimes. Sometimes you have to be a little selfish. Or to use kind of the more popular language, you have to practice self-care. You have to pour love and attention into yourself so that then you can relate to others in a community. And so if you get nothing from Ayn Rand, if you totally disagree with anything she's saying in Anthem, that's fine. But I want you to walk away from this text realizing the value of understanding the I of yourself as you move as a member in your life, not just as a member of society, because you have to be able to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. So we read Anthem to talk about the philosophy of the self, but we also read Anthem so that you can take away the philosophy of the self and hopefully apply it in real life, because you matter as an individual, and no matter how many times someone has to tell you that, people should keep telling you that, because you really do matter, and Anthem teaches that. Okay, if you have any questions about this text or anything else we're reading in the course, just reach out. I'm here.